So, Wolves, first of all, just your thoughts on the season so far?
Yeah, I thought we started well. We obviously got off to first couple of games got off to a great start with the point here at home to Hartlepool, and then we managed to get ourselves 3 points away at Dagenham, which is always tough.
It's probably been a mixture. I thought we showed great character away at Dagenham to get the 3 points. Second half against Hartlepool, I thought we played with our style and with real enthusiasm and real energy and a purpose in our play. And
obviously a little bit disappointed with the Halifax game. I didn't think we really got going. And then obviously the game on Tuesday night, I thought we dominated large parts of the game, which is the way we're going to go this season, without really creating enough efforts on their goal. But it takes time. We're trying to implement a new style. We've got new players to blood into the team. So I think as soon as we get up and running, we're going to cause teams problems.
How different has it been this year? Obviously, a little bit of a change of squad dynamic, a lot more younger players.
Yeah, I think that's probably part of the ups and downs of it. There's going to be games when, like you say, against Hartlepool and Dagenham, and even at times against Leyton Orient the other night, that they're going to show what they're made of. And there's going to be games where it's going to be tough and it's going to be part of a learning curve. But it's important that we learn from them mistakes, like we did at Halifax, and through the season we improve on those.
I think we're very fluid, if I'm honest. I think playing through from myself through the back, through the thirds, I think we've been very, very good so far. It's just it's in the final third, which where everyone's obviously frustrated. The boy, you can see the boys are trying everything that they can to get the ball over the line. But it's again, we're 4 games in. It's one of them.
That's the thing. I think people probably got to remember. I think with this group, it is going to be a case of things going wrong, but it'll be a learning experience and then implementing changes in the next game.
Yeah, of course, it can't happen every week, because that will leave us in trouble. But what we have to do is, as a team and as a management and as a squad, we have to all sit down and say, right, what went wrong? How can we improve on that, and how can we make that better in the next 42 league games? So it's not about here and now, but as I say, it can't happen every week. But I'm sure as a team and as a squad, we're really focused on how to do that better week in and week out.
Obviously, you've always been a bit of a leader in the squad anyway, but has it been sort of maybe you've had to do that a little bit more with less senior players around?
Yeah, there is a little bit of emphasis now on me and Stu and probably Steph as well to sort of help the younger lads, and that's not just on the pitch. You've got to try and build relationships with with everyone off the pitch, and talking to them before and after training at lunch times, and I think it's very, very. I think it's very important to get to know players on just a personal level as well, because you're going to spend a lot of time with them. You need to connect throughout the season. So a lot of them lean on me with advice, and you've got to remember that they're very young lads. They're just starting out in their first team football careers.
Probably the first time in my career where I've probably been the only outfield player that's in his 30, coming up to 31. So, but yeah, I think it's a different dynamic. It is different, but something that I think we can do well, and it's just, as I say, not to repeat myself, but it's really important that as a group, we learn from our mistakes and we learn from what went wrong and put them right.
Yeah, I do feel quite old in this new dressing room, actually, to be honest. They're great lads. Like I said, we've obviously signed a lot of young players. They come a lot with a lot of youthful energy, so it's been a bit different. The music's changed quite drastically, which is something I'm not used to. But no, it's been good. They've been excellent. To be fair to the boys, they train ever so hard. They're in on days off. They're doing extras. So I fully believe that we'll once we get going, we'll be very good this season.
Do you think it helps? Obviously, you, Worgs and Seth, all good experience in coaching. Obviously, then helping these young lads.
Yeah, it's because sometimes when you've been in them games on a sort of Saturday away up north, or they're tough games, and I've only got that through experience. So it's really important that, as I say, us three give them as much as we can. But you've also got to focus on your own game, because you can get caught up in trying to do other people's maybe talking or things like that, and you have to still play well yourself.
I think it does in terms of when they're asking for advice. Obviously Stu's a bit more sort of knowledgeable than me when it comes to the outfield sort of stuff. But yeah, they do come to us, and we're able to help them as much as we can. And I think that's having that support system for them, like I said, on and off the pitch is a big help.
So do you talk to sort of Michael and Muldoon and any of the other centre midfielders in particular?
Obviously, I coach as well, and I think it's really important that as a young player you have an identity to what you are, and know what your strengths are. I think that people can say, oh, he doesn't do that, he doesn't do this, but well, what does he do? So for me, the four probably in midfield, we've all got different strengths and weaknesses, and I think that it's important for someone like Phillips, and he knows when he comes out of Palace, well, what am I going to be in my career? I think that's so important. So Paxman's probably more of a creative one, and who can get open defences up, and Michael's going to be someone who's going to have energy and really drive a team forward, but he'll learn and get better in time, because it's not just going to happen overnight. Like I said earlier, I think he's not just going to come here and it's just going to be the finished article and he's going to be scoring every week, or he's not going to. It takes time to get to the level that is required to be a league player or whatever he wants to go on and do. But I've had chats with him numerous occasions in pre-season and in the season to let him know that, listen, that's still a massive attribute that you've got, and the same from Ollie Muldoon in that front of the back four. Josh Gowan, who I played with at Wickham, who's gone on to play in the Championship for QPR now, he's similar to him, and there's roles for them people in the game, and I think it's important that supporters and people realise that what they do.
So you've got Matt Funnell as your understudy. How's he been doing?
He's been excellent. Yeah, he come in pre-season. Obviously, he was here the back end of last year. We come in pre-season and he was very good, and he obviously wanted to go off. He did have a few pro clubs that wanted him on trial, and he went there and things obviously didn't work out how we wanted them to. But it's excellent having him here. He's a good lad. He's been working really hard in sessions, and we do bounce off of each other quite well, which is important. So hopefully, when there's the odd sort of cup games and some friendlies we can get going, we can get him into some games and see how he gets on.
How much of a sort of is it part of your role now to really try and mentor him and sort of coach him almost, I suppose?
It's yeah. I mean, I love the goalkeeping coaching side of it. I'm often badgering Gucci here to send me clips of the game so that I can evaluate myself, which is quite a difficult thing to do. But I need to make sure I'm very strict with myself, and I'll be that with him as well. I talk him through sessions like I do with Ethan, the academy goalkeeper. But like I said, it'd be good to see him in some sort of reserve team games or some cup games, and then that's when you see the best of players and you can really help them.
So on a personal note for you, obviously I think you had a few sort of niggly injuries last year. How are you feeling this season? Yeah,
very good. Yeah, I mean it was only about a month or so. I'd done something to my thigh away down at Torquay, and it was there, but it wasn't, and it was always in the back of my mind. But I worked really hard with Harrison Grant, our sports scientist. I worked really hard with him over the summer to try and get myself and my core stronger, and work a lot on my power for my distribution. So I do feel really, really good. But it's just a case of looking after myself. Making sure I'm doing all my warm downs and warming up properly, but like I said, we've got a brilliant setup here, so it's very good.
And lastly, what sort of game do you think we'll see tomorrow?
I think Barrow play a lot different now. They've always been quite well known for playing probably a team of 6'5" players, and it's going to be a fight for 90 minutes. But I think they play a lot more football. Ian Everett, who's their manager, I've played against him a few times in my career, so they're going to be a real tough test, and I look forward to it because I think there's always been quite good games against Barrow. I remember here a few years ago and we beat them, and it's going to be really good, and I think that if we can take the levels that we did against Orient into tomorrow, then we can hopefully get a good result.
We've done a little bit on them, and they're very much a footballing side. So I think it should be a good contest. If I'm honest, I think they're not going to be the Barrow of old, but by any means, I think they're going to be very, very. They're very young. They're very energetic, very similar to ourselves in that sense. So hopefully, it'll be not like the old Maidstone Barrow games. You're going to see a bit of a newer, better brand of football at the Gallagher tomorrow.